Hello everyone, my name is James, the Mayor of Jamestown, and I am here with a brand new series that I don't really have a name for. I'm simply playing Gunfire Reborn. So I saw this game a few days ago, I saw someone review it. It's basically a cross between Borderlands, what else? Risk of Rain. It has the roguelike elements of Risk of Rain, has the looting elements of Borderlands, it has gameplay similar to Overwatch, and it has the same sort of progressional system as both Dead Cells and, to a degree, I'd say probably Rogue Legacy. Yeah, so I looked at the game, I immediately bought it. It's a ton of fun. So I've started a new, basically a YouTube-esque sort of side save for it, in exchange for my regular one. So from what I can tell of the game, it is a looter shooter crossed with a roguelike, basically, is the simple gist of this. And I've played a lot of this multiplayer with a co-op body, which is a bunch of fun, which I highly recommend. So primary skill, Energy Orb. Energy Orb basically just stuns people and does some damage. You can change its statistics depending on what upgrades you get for it. Approach the weapon and press F. So we've got Cavalry. Press Tab to open weapon and inscriptions. So each weapon you get will use a different ammo type. It will also have different statistics. So this one has 25% chance to recover 50% ammo to a magazine when you kill an enemy. That's quite nice. This is just the tutorial area to teach you everything, and then we'll get into the main grunt of everything, and then we'll have a general idea of what to expect. But the game is currently about £9 on Steam at the moment. I don't know what that is the American equivalent for, but it's very cheap. It's currently in early access. The game definitely has its fair share of issues. Like, for instance, online is very fun, but it is a touch buggy. Like, there's not been a single game where I've not had lag, where either me or my co-op partner had lag. It tends to be, the host is usually fine, the other person struggles. And from what I can tell, it seems to be on the game's end. But, and then it's got a few bugs here and there. We'll get into that in a minute. What is the mission this time? It said that demonic aura has appeared at the Longling Tomb in Dragon's Peak. The chaos is spreading uncontrollably. What? It's nothing. That's all I'll leave. No adventure. Take this jade pen, it should be useful for you. So we'll just start a new game. So the game, it's new and early access. It came out, I can't remember if it was towards the end of May. It came out. This is a arm support chest. You don't get this for a while. It's a skill you have to upgrade to. But the game, Mike's moving there. Don't want to be doing that. There we go. The game definitely has its fair share of bugs. For instance, lag seems to be a prominent one at the moment, at least for when playing on co-ops. Solo, there isn't any issues from what I've found. For the most part, the game runs very smoothly. There was one bug that happened last night that completely took me by surprise, which I was not impressed by. It, like, completely froze my computer. So, well, it wasn't even on my computer, it was just the keyboard. We can't access this yet, we will very shortly. It just froze my keyboard. I couldn't do anything. It was very bizarre. That's only happened once, and I've played like between 30 and 40 different games at this point. Still highly recommend. The English isn't perfect either. Okay, so Ascension, determine the direction of growth of this adventure. Level 3 Ascensions have powerful additions effects. Reasonably matched Ascensions, occult scrolls, and weapons can help you go further. So we got the energy orb, which is our E, can freeze for 2 more seconds. 30% damage against enemy in elemental effects. Smoke grenade capacity, also kind of I like the energy orb is very useful, I find. So there we go. But yeah, so the game isn't perfect. It has some localization issues it needs to fix, like some of the text doesn't make too much sense, at least in terms of native English. But in terms of gameplay and replayability and just overall quality, the game is outstanding. As any good roguelike is, it has tons of replayability, plenty of weapons. Hopefully, as the game's development goes on and on, there will only be more and more. As you go through the game, you'll unlock like sort of small like they're kind of like challenges. So like if you defeat 10 or 20 of X character, you'll unlock a new weapon or a new scroll. Which is quite useful. So there are plenty of weapons to play with. You can always, hopefully they'll add more. One issue I find with the game, at least with the weapon at the minute, with some of the weapon variety at the minute, is that shotguns suck. They're just not good. Yeah, why not? Like, it's fun, it's really satisfying, but at the same time, you have to be really up close, and usually that's not a great idea. Reset the cooldown of all skills when you lose 20% max HP or more in a single hit. That's nice. What have we got here? And then a golden goblet allows you to pick from one of 3. And if the enemy is affected by smoke grenades explode after dying. I'll talk about smoke grenades in a second, but I want one more energy orb charge. So you have these, which get refilled really easily. It's called a smoke grenade. It looks more like poison. So it's very confusing when you go to pick your following upgrades and the game's like, oh hey, do you want to upgrade your smoke grenades? And I'm like, no, I don't have smoke grenades. I have like gas grenades or whatever they're called. Ah, there we go, bullet bank. Killed grenadier 10 times. But yeah, so again, it's something to do with the translation. It needs a bit of work. But overall, the game is incredibly good. I'm mainly just using this weapon because I never, ever use it outside of normal runs. The cavalry, what's our other weapon? I quite like that, so we'll swap that. So yeah, your game, again, has some localization issues it needs to fix. But gameplay-wise, it has more than enough to play around with. At the minute, from what I can tell, there's only one difficulty mode. I don't know if you unlock a harder difficulty mode once you beat the game. I haven't gotten that far yet. There's currently 2 characters. So you got the cat, I think it's just called Prince, and then there's a second character which is a dog, which I can't remember if it's called, it may be called Ao Bao, if I'm pronouncing that correctly, which I'm probably not. And they each have different abilities. So the cat obviously has the energy orb, which stuns characters upon hit. And then the dog character is basically the Gunzerker from Borderlands 2, and you're able to equip 2 weapons. I haven't gotten that far yet with my second, my personal account. It's called Archives instead of Saves, with my other save, basically is what I'm going to say. 2 meter to explosion, AoE for... Yeah, that's quite nice. Increases the size of the explosion. The Aura Venom is kind of the Needler from Halo, but without the needles that explode on impact. Unfortunately, it's a weapon that has a very short ammo supply, but it does have... Oh, you didn't get to see that. An incredible, an absolutely incredible right click. If you get headshots with the Aura Venom, it is absolutely incredible. Then you've got the sniper. Supposedly each gun has a alternate fire. That's not exactly true. Go away, please. So, with this one, obviously, it's the fact that it's a sniper. You right-click, you aim down a sight. Woohoo. Nothing impressive, nothing amazing there. The Aura Venom. You right-click, you use the entire round. There are a few... I hate the longbowman. Throughout this series, my disdain for the longbowman will become apparent. With the Aura Venom, you can get some amazing weapon upgrades to go along with it. So when you like press this, instead of it using the whole ammo, you'll like, if you miss, you'll refill your magazine so it continues to do that. Oh no 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 no. And this is my key problem with the longbowman. So the longbowman, me and my co-op buddy have convened, is, to put it politely, is the most bullshit character in this entire game. Due completely to the fact that their shots curve and home in on you. So even if you're behind cover, if they shoot you and the curve goes with you as you go around that corner, it will follow you. They are homing shots. Each stage has one. It's not nice. It's really painful and very frustrating. But it is what it is. Wake up. What happened? It's just the art of soul regeneration. Remember the jade pendant I gave you some time ago? That jade pendant is able to connect you to your vitality. Helping you to refine and enhance your soul essence. Talent is an important growth mechanism for heroes. Consuming soul essences can permanently strengthen their abilities. Killing enemies can absorb their... Ooh. Close, but not quite. Their soul essence. These are the talents you can choose. The selected attributes will be displayed in the right panel. Soul essence cannot be brought back to the inn. Please consume them as much as possible. So like Dead Cells, like Rogue Legacy, you die, you spend the currency you got, and then as soon as you go on to your next run, it's all gone. You spend it here and that's it. Right, so now we can buy Exploration, which is those glowing cracks in the wall. You shoot them, they open up, they're a vault, it's a challenge room. It's a chance to get some better stuff, basically. Level 10 will unlock the Rainbow. A gun I'm not a fan of, but we'll show it off when we get there. And then we've got increased ammo capacity, energy orb cooldown, and then just straight increase skill damage, max shield, and HP. Gonna go with HP. I unfortunately did not get 2 more to do anything else, so we'll just have to live with it. Bullet Bank. All picked up ammo will automatically convert its ammo type into the ammo type of current weapon. Kill Crossbowman 15, Aura Venom, Rapid Fire, all remaining ammo in the magazine. You can combine a ton of stuff with the Aura Venom for its right click to be amazing. Plus, its headshot damage is incredible, especially as the game goes on. Easily one of my favourite weapons. I began hating it, and then I progressively learned to love it. There are many powerful scrolls hidden behind the glowing wall, and I have the ability to search for them. Right, so we'll do one more. We'll do one more and then end it there, because 15 minutes, bit short. But we'll see how much further we can go. So this, you can buy an ability, you open it up, and then you'll have access to a select number of guns depending on what level you've upgraded to it. We don't get that until past level 20, I want to say. So it's going to be a little while. So, I've only gotten to the second boss in this game. There are 3 bosses as far as I'm aware. And then I don't really know what happens afterwards. We'll have to wait and see if I ever reach that point. So there's the first boss, then the second boss, and then the third boss. And each one has, I believe, 5 stages leading up to it. So this one is Longling Tomb. The next one is some sort of desert biome. And then the third one, I could not even tell you because I've not gone there. Because I've reached the second boss once. And it sucked. Max HP and max shield will be cut in half, but you gain 2 extra rebirths. This occult scroll is destroyed after the effect ends. Yeah, why not? I'll get it. It's rough that everything gets halved, but once I've died, it gets destroyed. So then the positive effects, the negative effects then get washed away. So this is a challenge room. Challenge event is the risk that may appears at any time in an adventure, but also means unexpected goods. Basically, it's a harder room. If you beat it, you get, you could potentially get some really good items. So in this room, all enemies transform into the horned beetle after being destroyed. The challenge rooms aren't particularly, what's the word I'm looking for? They aren't particularly inspired at the minute. So there's the one where everyone turns into a horned beetle. There's some trap rooms where you have to avoid traps as you go. And that's pretty much the gist. And then there's just a room where there's just a bunch of people that you need to kill. Gain immunity to all damage for 1 second after swapping weapons. That's real nice. They're not particularly inspired, but they give you access to cool stuff. So, you can't really complain. One thing I'm unsure with this game, as you can see there are these doors for a lot of the connecting rooms. I'm unsure if their plan is to sort of do what most FPS roguelikes do and have you be able to choose where you go next in the hopes of finding the next, like the final door, or whether it's just going to be a linear shot the entire time, because there's no choosing where you go. It's always a linear path you take. There's no getting lost. There's no like extra rooms you can do for increased loot or anything, with the exception of the challenge rooms. Enemies affected by smoke, grenades explode after dying. That'll probably harm me, so I'm not going to do that. Energy orb freeze for another 2 seconds is real nice though. But yeah, so we'll just have to wait and see what happens with the game as it carries on in development. But I am very keen to see where this game ends up once it leaves early access, because it is a ton of fun. There's plenty of content, and I'm sure there's going to be even more added as the time goes on. Leave me alone. Just stay there a minute so I can reload. Can I use this? I can, thank you. And this is all coming from the perspective of someone who hasn't even reached level 30 yet on my other archive. So there is plenty of stuff to find, and explore, and enjoy. I imagine, just like with most roguelike games, the environments are probably going to get a bit tedious after a while. But if the main gameplay loop is hooking you, then I highly recommend what the game has to offer, because it just gets better as the game goes on. All picked up ammo will automatically convert its ammo type into the ammo type of weapon. Like, as we already know, the game just needs a bit of refinement on the English, because sometimes it just makes no sense whatsoever what they're trying to say. Like, you get a general gist, but then, so like, usually when you finish a challenge room, it says challenge room succeed. Not great, but you know what it means. Right, we just killed you. We deal with you. I absolutely love the aura of Venom's ult fire. Oh, that's what I was saying. So, the game states that every weapon has an alternative fire. That is... Oh my goodness gracious. Just hold on a minute. Just wait 2 bloody seconds. Can I have this? Thank you. It states every gun in the game has an alternative fire. That's simply not true. For instance, let me just... yeah, why not? It doesn't freeze, but does extra damage. That's always kind of fun. So, for instance, this weapon here. So, it's the only gun in the game that I'm aware of that you can't reload, but it will fill up by itself. Don't know if you can hear me right-clicking. But I'm currently right-clicking. There is no alternative fire. Whereas the Aura of Venom, it can do left-click. It will do that. And just reload. Right-click. It will spit out really quickly. Like we saw with the sniper. It's right-click. It's a scope. It's not a great technical alternative fire, but it kind of counts. Perfect sick. For every 5 shots, the next shot deals extra damage. Yes, please. That's amazing. We'll leave everything else as it is. The basic gun, the revolver, doesn't have an alternative fire. Understandably, I can expect it not to. But it bothers me that the game states that every gun has an alternative fire when it simply doesn't. So this guy is a craftsman. He will increase the improvement of weapons. So I really like the Aura of Venom, so I'll keep that for now. But yeah. So there are guns that simply just do not have an alternative fire. I'm trying to think of one. The shotgun, it kind of has an alternative fire. How it works is you can... Oh, leave me alone. I love the Angelic Aura. I have to replace it. The Angelic Aura is lush. Actually, do you have anything, Peddler? I don't really have the money. No, okay. So, the Angelic Aura does technically have an alt fire. You can make it semi-auto. So, instead of holding down left click, you will have to press it each time. And I think it shoots in 8-round bursts instead. I didn't notice that until now. That's quite cool. That's not good. That's not great. That's not great. That's not great. But okay. So this one technically has an alt fire. The Wild Hunt, which I love the name of, but don't particularly enjoy, kind of has an alt fire in the fact that you... Ooh! Okay. Okay, well. Well, we see the use for that. Hey, how did I miss? See the use for that. Has the alt fire of you either press it once and you shoot 2 shots really fast, or you simply press it once and then hold it and then you can shoot again as you like. Technically, it's an alternative fire. On the other hand, we have some guns that just simply you left click and that is it. Like the Cavalry, you can make semi-automatic similar to this one, which I wouldn't really say is alternate fire. It's kind of just, do you want to hold it, or do you want to just be able to press it and then aim and do it as you like? Lucky shot, chance against the enemy affected by elemental effects, up by 20%. And then there's a grenade launcher type. There's a grenade launcher type. What's it called? All enemies died within 5 meters. Drop 2 times space rewards. Nice. There's a grenade launcher type pistol. As far as I can tell, does not have an alternative fire. So it bothers me a little bit that the game says that every gun has an alternative fire. It's simply not true. I don't know if it's because they intend to ensure that each one has... Ooh, careful. Ooh, no. It's because they intend to ensure that each one has an alternative fire, which I hope is the case, because I think that would make the guns even more fascinating and even more interesting to use if they all had their own individual alternative fires that would make some of the more boring ones doubly interesting. Aftershock. Energy Orb has 30%, 50% chance of exploding twice, 30% chance of exploding 3 times, 10% chance of exploding 4 times. Love Aftershock. So good. You never notice it, but it's so useful. But yeah, that's one small gripe that I just needed to air. Ooh, leave me alone. Oh, we got... Right. So we got the Longbowmen. My favourite enemies in the game, because they track you. Which is bullshit. One thing you'll learn to do with this game, or at least I find myself doing... Come on! I'm zigzagging. What are you doing? Oh, that doesn't stun that doesn't stun anymore. Leave me alone. No, go away. Go away with your bull. Oh, you've jumped down. I was not expecting this. Alright, let's move on. There was a... Yeah, there was. I knew there was a vault. Right, this one's just kind of a trap one. It's not that difficult. None of the trap ones are particularly hard. Well, at least not until you get to the sand area. The sand one... Whoa, what are you doing, man? The sand one... That one actually times you. Whereas these ones tend to just be fairly simple to deal with, and you're not timed. What we got here? Bluff. 25% damage dealt when your HP is full. That's nice, but my HP is never full. What was I saying? Oh. I don't know if it's just me, but as you sort of upgrade more and more, you tend to become more aggressive, which makes the game just that little bit more fun, because you learn to be less reserved. So you just pick up your favourite weapon, and then that's it. You go in. It's like the Aura of Venom. Let's just dodge that. You can just boom, headshot. Oh, it's not. We're not done in here yet, are we? Oh, okay, cool. Ooh, you're a bit close. Thank you. You can get headshots with this thing. It is amazing. Come on. Oh, we got the Shrieker, which is basically the BFG. I'm just going to use it for the sake of using it. It's basically the BFG from Doom. Go away. There we go. Leave me alone. I'm not a massive fan of it. Like, it's got good AoE potential, but honestly, I much prefer single target. Just gonna try and avoid. Or don't. That's fine. That's fine. So, what are you doing? Stop. Just let me... Come on. So each stage pretty much has their own version of the Longbowman. And, unsurprisingly, they get worse and worse as each stage comes along. So, like, the Longbowman variety in the following stage, in the sand stage, is somehow even worse. Which is impressive, I must admit. Because these ones already suck. Right. We've got the Golden Goblet. For casting the Energy Orb, shield recharge. Why would I buy that one? So I basically just bought a wasted upgrade. Because characters don't get stunned anymore by my stuff. Because I bought the upgrade for damage rather than freezing. It does more damage, but it can no longer freeze. That's cool. I'm so glad I did that. Nah, just get a curse scroll, I think. What's the arms trafficker curse? Weapon upgrades take more copper. That's not a big deal. When shooting, there is 20% chance to add extra ammo into the magazine. That's nice. That's nice. So I think that'll blend well with the Aura of Venom. Oh, I've already opened it. Which is super nice. because it means if I right click, then there's a chance for more bullets to be entering the magazine as it's firing, so it'll fire even more than just the regular 6. Wow. Wow, that is rough. Okay, so normally this would be, I want to say 200 and 400 for left and right. But, wow, okay. Someone basically screws you over. Yeah, wow, that's amazing. That is rough. That occult scroll is quite rough for upgrades. Gain 1 damage dealt and 0.2 damage taken from each enemy you killed. Sounds pretty good in my book. Right, so we have the first boss here. I don't expect to defeat him. Like, I'll give it a go, but I don't expect our chances to be too great. So I know his moves at this point, which helps. But then again, Aura Venom headshots are super good, especially with the scroll you get later in the game. See, it's already gone. Called the Aura Venom. So this part, he just sends down some form beetles. It used to be the first stage he sent down the box heads. I'm guessing either they changed it for single player. I can't believe I missed that. Ooh. Or they changed it because people got really pissed off. Which is understandable because the box heads are a lot to deal with. The second stage of his stuff are still box heads. But not shit. I don't have enough. I didn't dash. Why didn't I dash? Okay. He seems easier than the first time I ever fought him. The first time I ever fought him, I thought I could never get past any of his abilities without, like, more than 1 dash. Because you have an ability to get 3 dashes. He's not that tough. At least not in solo, anyway. Once you've beaten him a couple of times, it's not too bad. I should have been able to beat him there, but I didn't. Either my dash wasn't up, or I didn't press it. It was one of the two. The fault was either me, or it was the game. It was one of the two. But there we go. So, we'll leave it there. So, 15 minutes, 1632 damage dealt. Occult scrolls, got 10. Didn't kill any elites. You don't see them until the sand stage anyway. So, I think that's just going to be super useful to have regardless. Unrefined Soul Essence, can't really do much about it. Kill crossbowmen 20 times, triple comeback. Yep, super useful. Angelic Aura, I love Angelic Aura. Super nice. All enemies died within 5 minutes, drop 2 times the basic reward, can't complain. Shrieker, I do not enjoy the Shrieker. It's a cool design, not a fan of the gun itself though. Right, that's been my first run of Gunfire Reborn. I've had a ton of fun. I can't wait to do this again, honestly. I love this game. It's just so much fun. It reminds me so much of Dead Cells and Rogue Legacy, 2 games I've spent more than enough time in. So, I hope you enjoyed the video. Hope you'll stick around for next time. I've been James, the Mayor of Jamestown, and I'll see you next time. Peace.